Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video, I am so excited because I purchased the Beetlejuice X Revolution Beetlejuice palette. This was $15. This is what the inside looks like, and I thought, you know, to myself, for once Makeup Revolution nailed the color story, because usually they just throw colors in palettes and they're just like, there you go. I will see if I can do some swatches with this. So from top to bottom we have Say My Name 3 times, Just Say It, Beetlejuice, Recently Deceased, It's Showtime 167 times, Here Lies, Sandworm, Waiting Room, Dante's Inferno, Do You Like It, Have Some Laughs, Day O, Make My Millennium, and Gilliard. And I will also throw a close-up of the palette since it's kind of difficult to see the colors with the striped packaging. I really love how the packaging opens. It's very cute, and it's very different for Makeup Revolution. Now, I did try to swatch some shades when I first got this, and it wasn't swatching. I was like, oh boy, this is gonna be fun. So I'm hoping that I don't have too much trouble as I'm trying to put this on my eyes. But I have my brows done, and I'm gonna pop on some primer, and then we can get started on the palette. Alrighty, I have one eye primed. I'm just gonna zoom in. Nice and up close. I really want to do some Beetlejuice inspired look. I'm going to take this shade called Do You Like It? It's just a matte purple shade, and I'm hoping that it shows up. And I'm gonna pop this all over the crease. Well, that's better than I expected. So I just wanted to talk about like something weird that happened to me, and it's kind of how I know I'm getting older, because this wouldn't happen to me like ever as a kid. So I was sleeping and I don't know, like at some point while I was sleeping I decided to stretch my leg out, and it instantly turned into a cramp, like instantly. And I was like, okay, I can just bend my leg a certain way and like it'll stop cramping, and that didn't happen. And like, mind you, my boyfriend's sleeping like right next to me, and I woke him up because I was literally yelping in pain. I was just like, oh no. And he was just so worried. He was just like, what's wrong, what's wrong, what's wrong? And I was just like, I have a cramp on my leg and I can't get it off, so it's just hurting now. And now my leg hurts. Now my leg hurts, and I'm so sad about it. It feels pathetic. I feel pathetic about it. There's no other way to describe it. I feel kind of bad that I woke him up so late. I don't even know at what time this was. I just know that I woke him up, and like he was kind of worried. He was just like, what's wrong? Like, and I was just like in pain. I was just like, oh, 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 and like crying in pain. It was just funny. Like, now that I'm awake I'm like, yeah, it's funny. But like while it was happening I was just like, ow. So I'm gonna take the shade It's Showtime, which is this bright limey green. I'm gonna try to use this to like blend out this purple, and I don't know if it's gonna work out very well because, you know, green and purple don't really mix well, but they look good together. So I'm hoping that it gives me kind of like a Beetlejuice vibe, and it looks cool kind of. I think I do need a smaller blending brush. I'm gonna take this e.l.f. crease brush with that same green shade, and I'm just gonna work it in there. The shades are very powdery, like very powdery, but I expected so much less because I did try to swatch this out, and it was not swatching. It was not swatching at all, and I was just kind of worried. I was like, well, if it doesn't swatch, how am I supposed to show the palette? How am I supposed to talk about it? I mean, it's working. Going back into that purple shade because I do feel like we lost a bit of it with the green, and it's definitely giving like Beetlejuice. Like, it's definitely giving that. This is like one of the only times I am filming during the day. Are we proud? Because I'm very proud. Looks kind of cool. I have no idea what to do for shimmer, but I'm kind of scared of the shimmers because the shimmers is what I tried to swatch and it just said nope. Just taking a regular little fluffy brush. taking my NYX glitter primer, and I'm going to put this all over my lid so I can get ready for the shimmer. I'm scared. Hopefully this shows up and it looks beautiful, because I did not have much hope going into this. I also never tried Makeup Revolution. I've never tried anything from Makeup Revolution eyeshadow wise. I've tried some other stuff, never eyeshadows. So I'm quite excited. We're starting off bad. I'm gonna take the shade called Recently Deceased. It's like a very bright purple shade. I'm trying to take it on my finger, and that's kind of what it's giving. It's giving nothing, but I'm gonna pop this on the outer edge of my eye, and that glitter primer is kind of helping it to stick, because it really likes my finger for some reason, but it does not like to stick on the eye, which is kind of where I want it to stick, you know? It's just not giving what it needed to give. Do you see what I'm seeing? Because it's kind of rough for me. I don't know. I figured it would be like, it would look good, but like it's not really looking good. Maybe if I take a brush like with some setting spray, like do all that. I don't know. It looks to be picking up on the brush. I'm gonna try to spray the brush. I usually don't ever even bother doing this, but if it's gonna help, I will do it. And I'm gonna pop this on the inner portion of my eye, like right here. I love the shade of purple that it is. It's kind of very bright. It's giving a lot of Beetlejuice vibes to me, and I think Beetlejuice is really good. I love that movie. I don't think my boyfriend likes the movie, but I do. I love that movie, and I want to watch it later because I've been enjoying watching like Halloweeny movies. For the center shimmer, I'm going to take this shade, which is called Sandworm. Basically, on the other side of this brush, it seems to be picking up pretty nice with a brush. I just don't know why it wasn't picking up my finger, because that's usually the best way, but I guess not with this. And I'm literally going to pop this in the center of this eye look. For some reason, this just looks pretty dark. I don't know why I look dark, even though I have bright lights. Probably because the sun is out, and it's throwing me off because I usually film at night, because it's the only real time I have to film. I'm working basically a regular 9-to-5 job, and I don't really have all of the time to be like filming. I'm gonna take this blending brush and kind of see if I can blend the shimmers in together, because it's looking a little stark. It's looking stark, it's giving stark. So I'm gonna take my finger and kind of blend it. I like that you don't get neutrals, you get like just a bunch of color, and I think it's fun. Do I think it's worth the $15? That's a different story all in itself, but it's cute and it's working better than I thought it would. We're gonna go ahead and take some lashes. Some lashes will make anything better, literally. And like, I do need a pretty cohesive look because I'm filming multiple videos in this makeup, so if you don't like it, I'm so sorry. I thought I wouldn't like it either. I was just like, I'm worried that I'm gonna have to film like 3 videos with some shitty ass eye makeup, but it's actually not bad at all. I'm trying to make it brighter, but like the sun is really kind of messing with me because it's coming out on the side, like on this side, so it's just all like sunny and shit. I'm not used to that, you know? I'm just gonna wear the Kiss Pompadour lash and we'll see how this turns out, you know? I'm primed and I am ready and I have somewhat of an idea. I spot cleaned my brush, it's just a little stained, but I'm gonna go in with this shade called Just Say It, and I'm gonna try to blend it out with this light shade, and then I'm probably gonna deepen it up with the Waiting Room shade, and we'll see how that goes. I have no idea how it's gonna look, but you know, it's a very pretty color right there. That's very pretty to me, and I'm gonna just start by packing it and then we'll blend. I feel like that's the best way to work with these shadows. I feel like any other way and they're gonna give you a bit of a problem. Okay, and now I'm gonna take a blending brush. This one is from the Encanto collection. See, and I'm having trouble blending it. Once I place the color down, it kind of doesn't really want to move from where I placed it, and for me that's kind of an issue as someone who is a blending connoisseur. Kind of shady that it's not blending. Alrighty, we're getting somewhere. I'm gonna zip into this really light pink. It's called Day O. It has like some little specks of shimmer in there, but like I feel like you're not really gonna be able to see it on the eyes. And just pack it on there, or maybe you can see it on the eye. I mean, I can see it, you can, but I can't. I mean, it's cute. I think it is. Now I'm going to take this shade right here. It's called Waiting Room. I love how all the pans are little beetles. You know, I'm not a fan of bugs, like at all, but I think that is very cute how they added that theming into this palette. I'm having way too much fun. Damn it, I thought I wasn't gonna like this, and I was already giving it kind of a review, but like it's not bad. And I'm like, y'all ever go into something thinking it's gonna be bad and then it's not bad? I'm just taking the same blending brush, kind of just blending this like Waiting Room shade out with that like pink color. I don't know what pink has to do with Beetlejuice, but it's there and it's pretty, so we're using it. So this is where I'm at right now. This is where I'm at with the second look, and I want to use 3 shimmers. Is it too many shimmers? Probably, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna take the same brush I used, the same glitter primer I used, and I'm gonna take that and pop it all over this lid, basically just missing the part where I put that darker Waiting Room shade. I definitely think the glitter primer is helping these shimmers quite a bit. I don't think they would be applying as nicely if I did not have the glitter primer on. I feel very strongly that it wouldn't, you know? Maybe I'm wrong, but like, I tried to swatch these shades last night, okay? Drunk. I was a little wine drunk, and I was like, let me swatch this palette so I can get like a glimpse of what I'm getting myself into. And it wasn't swatching. I was like, what am I doing wrong? So I'm gonna take the shade Beetlejuice up at the top. It's like a very shimmery pink color. I'm just taking that with the brush I was using. I'm having to press pretty harsh in there. Maybe it's just the shades I was swatching, because this is one of them and it's not really showing up as well on the brush. This shade is not giving. Okay, maybe with my finger. I mean, it definitely picks up with my finger, but like it does not pick up with the brush at all, and it's definitely not showing up as much as it is showing up on my finger for some reason. That's really odd to me. And then I can't really blend the shimmers with the matte here. It's not really working well. Okay, I don't know why it's not working, but it's not working the way I wanted it to work. And my vision was this shade on the outer and the other 3 shades in the inner. I might have to change that plan. Let me see this shade. You see, this shade is pretty light. I can't really put that. I'm gonna take the shade 167 times, which is this light purple shade. Also not swatching the best, so hopefully it shows up better than this other shade. I definitely think the shades are hit or miss in here, like definitely. I'm just gonna cover up that other shade with this one. Beetlejuice did not show up in the slightest. This one is actually showing up more, so I'm just gonna cover it up and just put this shade all over. Okay, and now I'm gonna take this shade called Have Some Laughs. It's like a grayish shimmer. Hopefully it shows up better than the other shades I was using. Yeah, it's showing up. You can see it, can ya? That shade Beetlejuice was really disappointing. I like dug my finger in there and it just wasn't showing up. I'm just gonna take this shade on a brush and just pack it where I really wanna pack it in there. Taking that same pink shade from before and just making sure I like blend this all together, because these shimmers are rough out here. Like really though, like they're not blending, they don't want to move. For some fun, I'm gonna take a pencil brush and I'm gonna take this shade. This is called Juilliard. It's like a pastel-y minty green moment, and I'm gonna take that on a pencil brush and pop that right in the inner corner. I'm gonna pop it on the inner corner on both looks, but I kind of want to see if you can tell of the color. I don't really think you can, so I'm just gonna pop it over here as well and use that as my inner corner highlight. You can see it more on this eye, maybe because this eye has more gray in it. You can't really tell. You can't really tell because of the gray shimmer on there. I don't really know. Going back into that light pink shade called Day O, and we're gonna use this to reblend all those shades out. And I think that is look number 2 completed. So I've used most of these shades minus the green shimmer, this gold shade, the top gold shade, and Make My Millennium. So I don't know if I should just do one more look with these shades or if I should just leave it at 2. I think I am gonna do one more look just so I can see how the other shimmers perform, because it's hit or miss. It's hit or miss here, and I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything because I am not that way. I am not that way. I really like the way this look came out, but this look was a journey to get to this. So I'm gonna pop on a lash so we can see how it looks with a lash, and then I will see which one I take off. It's probably gonna be this one because I'm not a big fan of it, but I want to see how the other shades perform. Alrighty, so this is look number 2. You can let me know what you think of it. I definitely don't see this blending too much. I don't think it's my favorite look I've ever done. I definitely prefer this one a lot more, especially because these shades actually blended and they look good together, and it does scream Beetlejuice. This look, however, A, does not scream Beetlejuice, and B, like, the colors, they look good. It's a wearable look. I don't think it's like the best look ever. I think I'm gonna take it off, and I think I'm gonna do one last look with this palette, and then I will give you my final thoughts because I would have used every single shade. Alrighty, I have my eye primed again, and we can do one final look with the Beetlejuice palette. I spot cleaned all my makeup brushes yet again. They are still a little wet. Alright, so I'm going in with the last matte that I haven't used, which is Make My Millennium. Down here at the bottom, I'm taking the same Sigma E25 that I've been using. It's just spot cleaned. Overall, it's a very pretty green shade. Very much like it. Taking that same blending brush, and we're just blending this out as best as I can because it's kind of rough to blend these shades. I'm not gonna lie. Had better blending with other cheaper palettes than this. I'm not gonna lie, the 2 green shades aren't that different on the eye. They kind of have a similar vibe to them. Not really too much different. And since the rest of the shades that I will be using are shimmers, I'm gonna take my NYX glitter primer and pop this all over the lid. I'm gonna take this shade up at the top called 3 Times, and this is what's going on the outer corner here. Having a little bit of a rough time, I don't know if you can tell, but it kind of doesn't want to stick to the eye. And then blending it is gonna be another journey. I don't know, maybe taking it on a fluffy brush to kind of like just blend it will work. At this point, I am running out of options as to what to do to make it look better. It's just not working. What do y'all think? Do you think it looks okay? I don't know. I'm gonna take this green shade called Here Lies, and I'm gonna pop that like right next to this deeper purple shade. I don't know, man. I'm trying to like blend the shades together with my finger. I don't know if that's gonna do anything. I'm definitely showing you that I'm trying to make it work. Alrighty, now I think I'm gonna take this shade, this gold, which is called Dante's Inferno. This shade looks to be similar to that pink shade, so I'm scared that it's not really gonna show up on the eye, and I was right because it's not really showing up. Let me just dig my brush in here for a moment. It's kind of flaky as well. I feel like they were going for like a texturized shimmer, but like it didn't really work in their favor at all because it just doesn't really look good. It's not really performing the best. I'm gonna try to take my finger. I'm gonna give it as much as a chance as I can, but another problem I have with this palette is that the pans are extremely small, and it's really hard to stick your finger in there to kind of help it out and make it work. I mean, the finger definitely helped, but it's still not doing the best. It's still just struggling and trying to do what I think it wants to do, but it's just not working. What if I like scrape a little bit of it off and onto, oh no, It's just chunky and it looks like a mess. Like, do you see this? It just looks all messy. I don't know what they were trying to do with this formula. I'm trying to make it work, but it looks rough. You know, I think that's as good as this gold shade is gonna get, but it's definitely like the pink where it looks good in the pan, but then as you're trying to blend, it just is like, no, we're good, and it just doesn't want to blend. Taking my final shimmer in this palette, which is Say My Name here at the top, I'm gonna try to take this shade. Hopefully it takes well. Took very well on that brush. So I'm gonna pop this in the innermost portion that's left. Kind of pop it also like an inner corner highlight because it's like the perfect tone for that. I feel like if it was any other palette, it would look great, but because it's not, it's looking a little rough, and I feel like that's okay. You know, it's okay for now, but like I'm not really happy with it. I'm just taking that blending shade again, kind of making sure it looks pretty okay. I'm gonna pop on my lash and we can see if I take this whole thing off or if I just do this on this eye. We'll see. Here is look number 3 with this palette. The gold and this purple shade look rough to me, so I can only imagine they also look rough to you. The green blended out nice. The green shimmer, very nice, and then this champagne-y color in the inner corner also blended out nice. I feel like they were going for a glittery formula and just couldn't do it, and they couldn't get it right, and they were just like, it's fine, you know, just send it out like that, it's fine. So I'm going to take this look off because I kind of hate it and I'm gonna do this look on this eye, and hopefully I can get it to look cohesive and even, and I will talk about my final thoughts with this palette. And this is the final look with the Beetlejuice palette. Just wanted to show you nice and close up. First, what did I think of the Beetlejuice palette by Makeup Revolution? First of all, I did think that it was gonna be bigger. Like, it's not that big. This is my hand in comparison with the palette, and the pan sizes aren't that big either, so it's kind of hard to use your fingers while dipping into these shades, and some of them really need some help there, like the shade Beetlejuice and the shade Dante's Infernal, the gold, and this pink up here were rough. Also, this shade up at the top called 3 Times was also a bit rough. I had a hard time blending these shades. I don't think they blended very well. The purple shimmer here isn't really shimmery. I don't really consider that a shimmer. I don't know what I would consider that, but it's the most dull shimmer I've ever seen in my life. It just has nothing to it. The greens perform like pretty nice. This green on the bottom here is very hard to blend, but I consider all these shades to be kind of difficult to blend, and it's an eyeshadow palette. I don't want to say this was a cash grab, but I kind of do. The packaging, 10 out of 10. This packaging is so cute. I love how it opens like a little door. I think that's really cute. I had to dig into this shade to get it to show any pigment, and this one just really wasn't working. This pink one, not working at all. I paid $15 for this, and I would say that's not worth that price, even though it is kind of more inexpensive. If you're a fan of Beetlejuice and you want to get a palette that represents Beetlejuice, this could be a nice option, but just know that the shadows don't really perform too well. It's more so just the packaging that's very cute. And for reference, I did do a video on the Beauty Bay Dark Fantasy palette. This palette has 20 shades, and I believe it was $18, and you do get some Beetlejuicy type shades in here as well. And if you're going for this kind of vibe, I feel like you can get that really easily with this. And although yes, it doesn't say Beetlejuice on it or has any of the cute packaging, I still think if you're going for this type of look, this would be a very nice option. Also, the Batty Bean X Shroud collab, also a very very nice option. You have that bright green, also called It's Showtime in here. You have a darker green to deepen it up, and you have a beautiful multi-chrome in here that just really shows up. And I think that if you're going for this type of look, this is also a very nice option to pick up. This one, for me, very lackluster. Kind of disappointed. I don't think I'm gonna pick up another Makeup Revolution eyeshadow palette just because this one really disappointed me. It really disappointed me. From the time I first opened it to swatching it to using it on my eyes, I am not a fan. I think the other two options that I have here really perform well, and this just doesn't. It doesn't perform well. I tried to make it work for me, but I shouldn't have to do that. It should just work the way it's meant to. I mean, my eyeshadow right now is very pretty. It's very nice, and I can consider wearing it. I would have preferred to get this look from another palette that I have and just called it a Beetlejuice eye look instead of buying this one and being disappointed. And it's sad because they get all these collabs, but I feel like they haven't perfected their formula enough to do all these collabs, so I don't know. Theming, 10 out of 10. Eyeshadow, literally 1 out of 10. Did not enjoy this formula. I don't know if it's just this particular palette. I'm just not a fan considering I paid $18 for this one. You get more shades, you get very pretty sparkly eyeshadows, very pigmented eyeshadows, and I didn't have not one issue with this palette. It was just beautiful. And then I paid $15 for this plus shipping. I couldn't use a discount code because Beetlejuice. I give it a thumbs down. I'm so sorry, but save your money, look elsewhere. I'm sure another brand in the future is going to do another Beetlejuice collection. I don't think this is worth your money. Yeah, that is it from me for this video. I am so sorry about the negativity. I've never tried anything from Makeup Revolution, and I really wanted to love it, and I just didn't. That's not what happened today. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. It would really help me out, and subscribe to my channel down below for more from me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys. Hello everyone, or welcome. I'm a fan for the center. I have to take all the glue out of my eyelashes because if not, it's not really. Maybe it's just this. Maybe it's just this. My lash isn't even sticking on it. That's how bad it is. It's a great thing I don't have any other makeup on. Oh fuck. Dry, bitch. Dry. Definitely have better blendation. I'm not focusing on my band-aid.